Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm pretty excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a week of the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette, which just looks like this. It is a really fun color story and there's just so many beautiful colors. I really wanted to dive right in and do 5 looks with it. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right on into look number 1. I think I'm going to start off with this teal shade right here called Nancy. I already primed my eyes with the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Illustrate, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my little fluffy brush and just throw this shade right into my crease. Definitely am going to have to build it up. I've noticed so far that this shade is a little bit sheer, unfortunately. Alright, so that's as much as it'll build up with a fluffy brush. I'm going to go ahead and take something a little bit smaller and more precise and just try and see if I can get that shade to show up a little bit more. Alright, so that definitely helped. Looks a little better. That's like 6 layers of product, so I definitely wish this shade had a little bit more pigmentation to it. I'm just going to go ahead and take that same brush and kind of lightly fluff that shade along the lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade Bonnie. I really want to pack this on the inner corner. I don't know if it's bright enough, but I just thought it would be a cool look. So I'm just going to kind of tap it on. I'm going to go with my previous small fluffy brush and just blend right here so there's no harsh lines. I know it looks a little crazy, but just give me a moment. I promise it'll hopefully come together. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade Fiona right here and I'm going to pop that onto the lid. Again, just going to go in with my little brush and just blend the crease because I don't want it to be a harsh line. I want those blues to blend together. Might have to go back in with the matte shade. I dip back into Nancy and I'm just going to use that to help blend the crease a little bit more. I accidentally got shadow up there. I would. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of Fiona on my finger just to see, just to pop it over the top to see if it's a little bit more intense just right on the lid after I blended everything out. Grabbing some of Fiona on a little eyeliner brush and I'm just going to blend that on the lower lash line. Make it a little bit darker. Alright, so that is basically the eyeshadow look. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw the Ardency and liner in the shade Jade into my waterline. I'm kind of torn because part of me is like, this look would be so beautiful with lashes, but then the lazy part of me is like, or maybe I could just do mascara and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of those. I'm not sure which and I'll be right back. Okay, so I pulled out a pair of lashes that are beautiful. But then I was like, I have to cut them and then I have to find my lash glue. So I did 2 coats of mascara and called it a day. Alright, so for highlighter today, I'm going to go ahead and use the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face Illuminator in the shade Crystal Clear. I thought that this would be really pretty because it has just a slight blue tint to it. Honestly, you can't see it that much with the Face Glow. But I'm also going to be using the Glass Glow Lip in the shade Crystal Clear, and you can see the blue tint a little bit more, so I thought it would kind of match. I did receive these through Octoly, and I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about the highlighter just because it is a little sticky. It's interesting. You literally need the tiniest amount ever. I think it would take like 10 years to go through this bottle if you used it every day. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the tops of my cheekbones and just blend it in. I accidentally went too heavy with bronzer today and I used a shade that I haven't used in forever, and then when I started filming I was like, my neck is so white, so I went ahead and put bronzer like all down my neck and now I feel so tan and it's like throwing me off. Like I'm sure that's not that bad to some people, but it's like It's weird for me. So this is the finished look for day one, and I really liked how it turned out. I feel like it's a really beautiful smoky eye, and even though the colors kind of seemed brighter at first, I feel like it did kind of settle into a really grungy, colorful look, which I'm all about, and I think that it's a really pretty mixture, especially with that green on the inner corner. If you know me, you know I love an interesting inner corner color, so I'm all about it. But let's just go ahead and jump on into day number 2. Alright, so jumping right on into day number 2, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the green shade right here called Bonnie. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that into my crease to start off with. I'm also going to go ahead and with that fluffy brush just kind of throw it along my lower lash line, just so this color is basically going completely around my eye. And then I am kind of just going in with it more and building it up a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to take this green right here called Marnie, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in my outer V. This brush is a little bigger than what I would normally use, so I'm just kind of fluffing it out, but it's actually making it look pretty soft and smoky really quick, so I like that combination. I'm also going to go ahead and pop that shade along my lower lash line on the outer half. I feel like if you wanted to keep this look a little bit more of that like monochromatic green and just flowing with these tones, you could go ahead and take Hermione all over the lid, and I think that would be a really beautiful addition. It's kind of like this, it's like a mustardy gold type shade. I think that all over the lid with the greens would be so pretty, but because this palette is a green and purple color story, I kind of want to expand a little bit, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use I'm going to use this shade Mary first, and then I'm going to use a pop of purple. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mary all over my lid. Ooh, that actually has a really beautiful texture to it, especially for going on with the brush. Wow, kind of shocked because that's not a shade that I would typically reach for, but it actually looks really pretty. I wonder if you guys can see that on camera, all the like gold speckles through it. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Prue, and I'm going to pop that onto my inner corner. And I'm kind of just going to wrap it up so it blends into that lid shade. And then I think just to add a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and grab this shade right here called Piper, which is a really beautiful pinky purple shade, but it's more of a satin, so it's something I would probably see using on my lower lash line a lot. And I'm going to go ahead, oops, I dipped a little lower than I wanted to, but I'm going to pop that onto the front right here. I'm going to go back in with a touch more of Marnie, the deeper green. Just pop that on the lower lash line. Slightly running the shades over one another, but I'm not really focusing on blending because these two shades together, if you blend too much, they're just gonna look like brown. They're just gonna get muddy. I don't know where the pink liner is that I really want to use, so I'm just gonna go into the Artsy liner in the shade Deep Purple. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so to finish up my face really quickly, I'm gonna go into the JJ Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Medusa's Gold, which is like a white to gold shifting shade. Just gonna throw that on the tops of my cheekbones. And then for lips, I'm gonna go into the Jouer Lip Enhancer Shine Balm, I think is what it says, and the shade is Amaryllis. Alright, so this is the finished look for day number 2. I really like how it turned out with the grungy greens on the lid in that shade. Oh gosh, what was it called? Was it Mary? Let's see. Yes, Mary. This shade right here, like, I'm honestly so surprised how pretty that is and the texture that it gives. I was not really expecting to love that shade, but it's actually really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this look. Now let's go ahead and jump on into day number 3. Alright, so I think that we're on day 3 if I remember correctly, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right on in and start off with this lighter purpley mauve shade right here called Sarah. And I'm going to go ahead and just start that off in my crease. Definitely pulls a lot less purple on the eye. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and go into this pinky purple right here called Page. And I'm going to throw that a little bit lower down in my crease. Alright, next I'm going to go into this really bright purple right here called Sabrina, which might have a little bias because I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch growing up. And I'm going to go ahead and put that onto my outer V. And then just kind of keep it right there and just blend in circular motions. I've been going back and forth on what to do on my lower lash line the whole time, but just out of nowhere I got the idea that it would kind of be fun to go back in with Sabrina and just do like a really bright purple lower lash line. So I think I'm going to do that. Alright, now for my lid, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Phoebe. Strange. Huh. Okay, so I feel like when I originally swatched this shade, it felt so magical, but now it's almost like the top coat is gone. It doesn't feel quite as, I don't know. I feel like I kind of have to dig my finger in there a little bit. That's strange. Alright, well I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger and I'm going to pop that on the lid. And it does look really pretty. It's just, it's a weird texture. It actually looks really pretty, and even though you kind of do have to dig your finger in there a little bit to get it to transfer onto your finger, it actually makes it so that as you're like putting it on the lid, it transfers really well without there being any fallout, which I appreciate, of course. Like, yes, no fallout living. Alright, so for my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Give Me Glow glitter glue. And I'm going to pop that onto my inner corner, just applying it, and then I'm going to give it a moment to get tacky. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade Prue, and I'm going to pop that onto my inner corner. Definitely like that even more with the glitter glue. Alright, so to finish up this look, I'm going to go ahead and use the deep purple liner from Ardency In and the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Alright, now for highlighter, I'm going to go ahead and use Cindy Grace Pink Lightning, which is one of my favorites, but I haven't reached for it in a little bit, so I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and pull it back out for this look since I'm playing with some pinks and some purples. So beautiful. Alright, so I want to do a nice nude lippy. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this lip liner from Flower Beauty in the shade Beige. I think that this will work. And then on top of it, I'm going to use the Lunar Beauty Lip Gloss in the shade Dreamy. I feel like the lip liner is warmer than I wanted it to be, and now I'm kind of regretting everything. Okay, I'm gonna take this is gonna be like the glossiest lip ever, but I'm taking a tiny little touch of Good Girl from Any Hearts Beauty and just gonna kind of mix that in. Alright y'all, so this is the finished look for what I think is day 3, and I really love how it turned out. I think this is my favorite look yet. I think the lid shade is just so beautiful, and it just has like this really cool duochrome to it and like a really nice kind of just glittery finish. So even though it's a little bit of a darker lid that I normally go for, it's kind of smoky but still has that like just interesting touch to it. And then the inner corner with the glitter glue is just even better than without the glitter glue. So I don't know, I really love how the look turned out. So now let's go ahead and jump onto and into what I think is day 4. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I have no idea. Alright guys, so I'm pretty sure that it's day 4. for the Moonspell palette, and I thought today we would go ahead and focus a little bit more on the neutrals. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade here, which is called Winifred, and I'm going to pop that into my crease. Ooh, that is darker than I expected it to be. Just gonna blend it out. This brush is too scratchy. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and take this brown right here called Kiki, and I'm gonna start that off in my outer V. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and use Page on my lower lash line. I don't know why, I just thought this kind of pop of pink would be pretty with the browns. Ooh, I kind of like that. I'm also going to take a little bit of this shade right here called Samantha on that same brush, and I'm going to pop it onto the outer part of the lower lash line. Actually, I'm kind of mixing that into the whole lash line, kind of creating a mixture between those two shades. That's really pretty. I think I'm also going to go ahead and grab a little bit of Samantha on my finger, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer part of my lid. That's actually so pretty. And now I'm gonna go ahead and take Hermione, and I'm gonna pop that onto the front of my lid, blending that into Samantha. I don't know, I kind of want to take, I don't know if this is gonna look so stupid, but I kind of want to take a little bit of Prue, just the tiniest bit, and pop that over this front part of the lid. That's actually kind of cool because it has like the warm base, but then it looks like it has the purple reflect. Okay, that's a cool little combo. So I think really quickly from my inner corner, I'm just gonna grab one of my Terra Moon shades because I'm obsessed with these. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade here, which is called Light Year. It has like yellows and greens and pinks, and it is so beautiful. And I'm gonna pop that onto my inner corner. Whoo! Wow. I'm going to do some liner and mascara off camera really quickly, and then I'll be right back. All right, for highlighter, I'm going to go ahead and use the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism in the shade Mercury. Whew, did not mean to go in with that much. Oh gosh, okay, last time I used this highlighter, I used a way more natural brush. I was not expecting it to be so intense. Alright, so I pulled out a bold lippy just because I've been really enjoying my liquid lipsticks again, and I thought it'd be a fun pop to the pink lower lash line. I'm going to go ahead and use the Dose of Colors Talk is Chic liquid lipstick. Alright y'all, so this is the finished look for day 4 with the Moonspell palette. I really like how this look turned out. It's actually not at all like what I expected. I was going to do a full neutral look, but I love the kind of pinky red lower lash line, that inner corner, even though it was something that wasn't from the palette. I feel like it just amped it up to another level. And the shimmer all over the lid, Samantha, is so pretty. And also Prue popped over Hermione. I feel like that's such a random combination, something I wouldn't have normally thought of, but I actually really like it together. Like there's just a touch of purple reflect, which I think is really cool. So I overall really like this look. Now let's go ahead and jump on into day number 5. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump on into day 5. Very excited. So today I want to go ahead and kind of challenge myself to do one of my favorite looks, but with this palette, just because I'm curious to see how it'll turn out. So something about this palette reminds me just a touch of the Natasha Denona Gold palette, because there are some of like those similarly toned neutrals, but then also the pops of greeny teal. So I thought I would go ahead and do like a Natasha Denona Gold look, but with this palette, if that makes sense. I don't know, I was just really inspired to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Winifred, and I'm gonna put that right into my crease as my transition shade. I'm also gonna go ahead and run that shade along my lower lash line. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Nancy, which is a little bit sheer, so I'm gonna see how much I can build that up. And I'm gonna pop it into my outer V. Just as I'm building it up, I'm also blending out in circular motions. Alright, I'm just going to go back in with my previous brush and just blend the edge a little bit. I'm actually going to go in with a little touch more of that brown Winifred and just kind of blend that over. Alright, now I'm taking that teal Nancy and just popping that onto the outer part of my lower lash line, just connecting. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab this shade right here called Fiona, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer part of my lid to start with, and then just kind of blend it into the halfway point a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab Hermione, and I'm going to pop that onto the front of the lid. Just went ahead and used a brush to pick it up because I was kind of curious how it would work. Last but not least, for the inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and grab Tara Moon's Eon, and I'm just going to pop that on. It actually looks really cool because it has a gold and a green shift going throughout it, so as I move my eye, I feel like it goes really well with the look. So really quickly, I'm going to go ahead, throw on some liner, some mascara off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so for highlighter today, I'm going to go ahead and use the Natasha Nona Super Glow in the shade Fair, which is one of my favorite highlighters. It just looks like this. And then for lips, I'm going to go into the Alissa Ashley Lip Gloss in collaboration with e.l.f. This is no longer available, but it's a really pretty kind of mid-tone nude, just really pretty gloss. Alright guys, so this is the finished look for day 5 for my week of the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I think it was super fun to make. I really did a lot of fun looks with this palette. I will already have a review up on my channel at the time that you're seeing this video if you're curious to see my full thoughts on the palette and just how I interpret my experiences, because I try to make this video more about the looks and the tutorials. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.